Girl, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, did you know this?
Oh my God, it's Shawty lovely and Nicole. Shawty lovely and Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is full. Shawty lovely and Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and poise. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shawty lovely and Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shawty lovely and Nicole. Oh yeah, it's Shawty lovely and Nicole. Everywhere, it's Shawty lovely and Nicole. Oh yeah, grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, social media friends, Facebook family, and all you lovely, sweet babies out here rocking in wherever you tuning in from, honey. We got a show for you today. We have the fabulous and wonderful, magnificent Diamond Cheri, honey. Born and raised in East Atlanta, Diamond Cheri is a definition of resilience. She's her rhythm in raw star power. Her journey didn't start under the bright lights. It started with a big dream, real life lessons, and a voice that refuses to be silent. Through setbacks, betrayals, breakthroughs, Diamond Cheri's turned pain into purpose and struggle into sound. This girl is powerful. She's a force to be reckoned with. I've had the blessing to be around her and some of her ambiance, and I'm telling you, she's a powerhouse. I'm going to play a clip of her video, honey. Cocoa butter, baby. Cocoa butter brother. And y'all ain't understanding. Y'all don't want to touch all these people in this video after you see this video. But I'm going to play it before I bring it up so y'all can be familiar with her sound. Make sure y'all go out and purchase this girl's work. She is the bomb. I'm going to let you be the judge for yourself.
Talking cocoa butter, they don't know no better. I'm a dog and I'm Marmaduke. Brown skin been alarming you. I'm warning boo. Them weapons don't prosper against me like they formed to do. Cause my vibe is the eye of a hurricane, calm and serene. I can stand in a storm with you. Perform on it all night and give me a morning show. This gon' feel like Tom Joyner do. Other hoes couldn't manage me right, so I made you the head and I'm glad I appointed you. Hey, this feel like geometry, honey. I'm pondering, coming inside it and joining you. Because you a cute motherfucker who hit the right angles the minute I cornered you. I'm rolling.
Baby, I've been waiting patient all day, just so I can get some freaky DK. Put your hand on my back, push down gently. Other one round my neck, squeeze it tightly. Cocoa butter brother,
So without further ado, we're gonna bring up our guest, Diamond Cheri, in the building. Hey, 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 girlfriend!
Hello, lovely.
Please. Girl, that song, baby, that song.
I'm not gonna hold you. Watching the video back, I'm like, damn,
It's baby, it's a lot. That's a whole lot of everything going on. Baby. I'm talking about, yeah, baby. He was giving the business. So who came up with the video? Who came up with the movement of it, the berries and the touching and the laying on the bed and the who came up, like, you know what I'm saying? To put that in their mind.
So I've really been blessed to have a great circle of men around me that have teamed up together and become basically like Team Cherie. Like they make sure everything runs smooth, goes well. And one of those key players that are a part of my business, his name is Ryan George.
Mhm.
He started as just my graphic designer. He started just making cover art for some of my albums. And then he was like, hey, I think I want to get into creative direction. And I was like, duh. I'm like, let's go. Like, let's do it. Like, use
Right.
me as the test dummy. And these are the type of results that he provides to me. I mean, a full storyline, full tape deck, full everything, anything that I could ask for. And I think that him alongside Sterling did a very good job. Sterling is the videographer. They did a very good job of making sure that this video was top tier.
Oh no, it's definitely sexy. I'm talking about there's nothing about that video. I mean, from the rubbing of the hands of the cocoa butter, from you rubbing it on your breasts, from you climbing on top of that sexy man. I don't know how I'd have been climbing on top of little Ali. Now, I'd have had to get a whole cougar off of him if I did.
Self control, self control.
I, I think he is so. I think he is one of the sexiest. He's short, but he's so sexy to the point. It's like, okay, I can overlook that you ain't about 5'3" on probably a whole good day.
And I will say, surprise, sometimes when you're able to access certain people, you don't know what type of personality they have, what it's like to actually work with them.
Mhm.
And I can say that it was so easy to work with him. He made me feel very comfortable. He came in, he greeted everyone, he was kind, he was considerate of everyone's time. And this was like my first celebrity feature, you know? So for this to be the first time of me taking that stepping stone in my career, it was good to have somebody on film and off camera to make sure that I was comfortable in that partnership for this record.
So when he walked in, you wasn't just like nervous. I mean, I do a lot of red carpet, but and I don't be nervous because half the time I don't even know who these people are. But it's every once in a while I'll recognize somebody and be like, oh my God, he's good looking in real life. Because a lot of them don't even look like they look. But I had the pleasure of seeing and seeing this man in concert, and he is a really sexy. His demeanor is just sexy. You can exude it or you don't, and he exudes sexy. So how when he walks in the room, what do you do? Do you just look and be like, damn, that motherfucker's really standing here?
Well, what's crazy is that was not my first time meeting him by far. I had ran into him a few times before that. My first time meeting him was actually at Tree Sound Studios.
Okay.
Um, I went there with a good friend of mine, Johnny Blaze, and she was working on some content for herself. It was this dope ass piano segment that she did, and it was phenomenal. And he was there, and I was nervous. Then I was nervous. The first time I laid eyes on him, I was nervous because I didn't know who he was until my last record came out, Pimpin'.
Right. And I
When
love
that record, yes,
that's another one of
it,
my favorites. Yeah.
it when that record dropped, everybody was like, yo, this is the dude that needs to be on this record. This is the dude that needs to, like, oh, he needs to be on this record. I'm like, who is this guy everyone's talking about? So I
Hmm.
did my research, found him, lyricist.
To death.
Like,
Yes.
oh,
Definitely.
like his pen game is crazy. And the fact that it can just come off the dome like that is insane. And I didn't want to take a picture. I was like, I don't. Johnny was like, you need to go. You need to talk. Why, you're not gonna get anywhere if you don't just speak. You need to speak. You
Talk
need to
to
speak.
people, right?
And honey, I was like, I don't like to bother people. I know people. They probably have people bothering them all the time. That girl was not hearing nothing I said. Shout out to Johnny Blaze because she's the reason that this even came into fruition.
Okay.
And baby, she bullied me into meeting that man. She walked right in there. She was like, "My friend's scared to come say hey, but I want her to take a picture with you. So what we doing?" I was like, "Oh." And from there, it just progressed. I went to another event that he had. I actually opened for him for
I
his
was
tour,
gonna say,
for the Good
show.
Looking
I
tour.
remember seeing it.
hmm so I was able to open for him in Atlanta, my hometown, my city. And that was really dope. And I think him seeing my work ethic and him seeing what I can do live definitely sparked an interest. And then we were able to open up the conversation for a feature.
For a feature. He did. Y'all did a good job. I mean, the video is fine. Y'all look so sexy together on screen. Because sometimes you put people together, they look a little awkward.
hmm
Y'all look like y'all was really finna do the damn thing. I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all just look like I would tell you that y'all look like him. He'd have been there running off set. I was like, this lady
That
crazy.
means the mission was accomplished, baby.
No, because when I saw the video, I was like, I turn off the TV quick. Like I'll turn on something, then I lose interest real fast.
Mhm.
But the fact that I turned it on, I was like, well, damn. Well, damn.
Mhm.
All the climbing on, and when he grabbed your waist and he kind of disappeared, and then you're looking in the mirror, he's gone. I was detailed. I was watching. I was like, okay, this is engaging and a little inviting.
Okay.
So you did, hats off to you and a great job on that song. Busting
Thank
out on the internet.
you.
Y'all got to go out and get the song Cocoa Butter Brother. Um,
Mhm.
so we're gonna dive into you because you've been on the scene for a long time. I did your first. I think I did one of your listening parties a decade ago now.
Mm.
And
It's been a while. That was actually COVID.
yeah, COVID, yeah, and you was doing your thing then, on your grind, on your hustle, very, very together, very poised, very, very friendly, and you're a boss. I always say when you're a boss, you act like one, and you definitely command that. You get it. You have structure to your situation, and I think that's what helps along with your movement because I saw a little Diamond, Desmond in the video too. I saw his little sexy ass back there too.
Shout
Yeah,
out to my bestie.
he's another brother. That's another. And damn, this man with his guitar now. I'm gonna need him to
Mhm.
stop twirling all over with his shirt off. I need him to sit down.
He gonna put on a show, baby, every time.
He's I've met him on that way back then, and he's been rocking with me for a minute now. I absolutely love his personality. Another one, just great people around you. And then your executive producer is one of my real live people. Eric Smalls, big him. He's been with you for a long time.
He is literally the engine.
Yeah, and he is like
Like,
10 toes in for you, baby. He really
I
is
mean, 10 toes, the kneecaps, the waistline, the shoulders, all the head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Like he's all the way in
he's
it,
all the way around.
and
He is. So
I could not do that without him. None
so
of it.
take me back to East Atlanta. What did your world look like before this spotlight that you in? What was it? What was
Ooh,
it?
wow. So you know what they say, F where you from, where your grandma stay. Kendrick said that, amen blessed. But you ever heard of the Hamp?
No.
East Hampton Apartments,
East Hampton,
notorious.
yes. So you should have said that.
Yeah, they call it the Hamp, baby. Now
Mhm.
they done tried to change the name a few times to,
To make it
ha-
nice.
you know, to try to gentrify, but that's my original hood. Like my great grandmother was one of the first tenants to ever move into those buildings. I mean, the apartment went up. She was one of the first tenants in that building. Everybody knew her as Big Mama. Took care of the community. People came to little kids came, took trash out. She gave them a little soda. But for me, I was very sheltered.
Mhm.
So though I grew up in East Atlanta, because my dad is from there, my grandmother is from there, my roots are from there. Um, they kind of already knew what East Atlanta was all about, you
Right.
know. And they made sure to position me to not have to encounter some of those things.
Okay, so you was in the hood, but not in the hood part of East
Oh,
Atlanta.
baby, if I was caught anywhere in anybody's street, baby, it was the end all be all of everything. Now I was gonna be at a good Golden Glide on any given Sunday. I
Okay,
do,
what's
I
the spot?
did love to hit.
What's the spot?
I'm going skating. The skate life, it was definitely a part of my life growing up. I later came to find out that my family is originally from Detroit, and then my great grandmother moved us down here to Atlanta, to give us a better, better life, better situation. But I think because she grew up in Detroit,
Mhm.
moving to Atlanta, East Atlanta don't got ain't got nothing on the D.
Right, right on Decatur. Oh, you mean Detroit? You talking about Detroit?
Detroit,
Detroit,
East Atlanta.
like it's kind of hoodish though. I ain't look. I know some Detroit folks, baby. And I be like, ooh,
I,
child.
I know some Detroit folks. I have family that's still in Detroit. I lived in Detroit for a short period of time, came back quickly. Um, but I love my city. I love everything about Atlanta. I love the fact that it's so much you can do. I love the fact that it's so much you can explore. I love the fact that even though I grew up here, that
Mhm.
I can go on a block and see something brand new that I never. When did they put this here?
Right, right.
You know? And I love the diversity of my city. I treat, like they say, treat the janitor like the CEO. That's
Mm.
me. Like I've never been too good or never been too boastful to reach back out to my community to say hello to somebody that I've never spoken to before.
Right.
Because in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And we all grew up. Atlanta is hard. It's a hustle and a bustle, and we all here just trying to make it. So,
Maybe get the money, go for the bag. I mean, really is what it
you
is.
know,
You know how hard it is to push content, pushing content, making people believe in you. You seem to have a good foundation. I've been around you and I've seen, I've watched your walk for so long, that you seem to have structure. You know what I'm saying? But then you ask yourself, why haven't you blown? Because you're so good. So when you sit and think about all this work you put in all the time and you waiting for this window to go, what is that? What does that feel like? What does that look like to you? What are you wanting out of all of this?
what's crazy is I have conflicting emotions about that, right? Everyone that I run into and a lot of people that I know, they want me to be a star. They see star status. And I see star status too. So don't get it twisted. That's not, I'm very much so aware of my potential and what I have to offer. The problem is I've had to come to the reality that the industry now is very much so pay to play. Your talent is irrelevant, you
Right.
know. And I'm from, like I said, I'm from East Atlanta, born and raised. I've lived here all my life. I'm a single mom, and unfortunately, I've never been a stripper. No shade to no strippers, because I love the girls.
Right.
Um, I've never sold drugs in my life. I've never. So a lot of the no shade to anybody and how they get it. No shade to nobody, because whatever your hustle was, it brought you to your purpose, right? But
Absolutely.
I was not allotted the opportunity to have extensive finances provided to me so that I'm able to reach certain stepping stones that other artists are able to reach. Even when you see artists on the blog, they pay for that. Their labels pay for that. When you see these artists doing these features and they're in these big studios, it costs
Money.
money and a lot of it. And not even unfortunately, because I'm very proud to be a mother, I have to prioritize my household. I have to prioritize my child. And though I still do the things that I need to do because I would like my talent to be able to feed my child at some point in time, I would
Right.
like, and that's what I want. So I don't necessarily care about the fame, baby. I want the fortune. I want the stability. If I end up singing at somebody's juke joint set 5 days out the week, and this allows me to be able to pay my bills, travel, and do what I want to do, I'm good.
Right.
I would be happy with that because my favorite place to be is on a stage. My favorite thing to do is music. I can't. The one time I tried to quit, it felt like I couldn't breathe. It felt like the wind got knocked out of me. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced that or anything, but it's like losing a soulmate,
Right.
you
It's
know?
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a horrible feeling when you have a love and a passion for something, and you
Hmm.
move from it, or you try to deny what God has put in you and said, "This is your gift. This is what I bless you with." It's like you missing a bone. You missing something in
Hmm.
moves, and people don't understand that that's not really artists because it ain't for everybody. Like
Right.
you could be so good, and I like I tell you, you give me chills. You have an amazing voice, and the range is like just astronomical. And then some of these people that you see, I see celebrities all day that blow, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I can't, so I sit into that, and I used to sing a lot of times, even back in the day when I was singing, it was the same thing. You pay a price for all this stuff. It's what you, back then when I was coming up on the scene with Tony Braxton and all these people, and we're all singing at the same time, it was what you was given, baby. If you was given a little,
Hmm. Yeah.
but when you come from, I'm not finna bend, it's gonna have to be really based on my talent. You might get a couple of deals closed in your face. You might get a couple of things that don't work for you in your favor because you're not willing to do everything and be in for
Hmm.
everything. So maybe my blessings was blocked a long time ago from the same kind of thing. And then not, being a mom, being a mom, but being on the scene was not the thing, and not knocking
Hmm.
strippers and not knocking what anybody does. But now you have strippers and AI, and you have all these different things. So now your challenge is even bigger
Competing with the computer.
than what it was back then. Even I have gotten into the AI, and I'm like, okay, I can make this do this, and I can, but they sign in $3 million deals on these things. And then here you are, a whole human with a voice that's powerful, but then you have somebody over here that's created a brand, and that takes away from the people that can really sing.
And did they really create a brand, or did they use AI to do everything for them and they just followed the directions of what the computer told them to do? That is
Well,
my only problem with AI. My
mhm.
problem with that is it's a slap in the face of artists that have been doing this for so long, and it feels like another setback, right? It's a slap in the face to engineers that do mixing and mastering. That's how they make their money, that's how they make their bread. That they went to school for it, they had to learn it, they had to master it. It's a slap in the face to writers, people that actually take the time to write. And now you can put a prompt in a computer and it comes with a whole song. And the fact that you can get $3 million for letting something else do the work for
Yeah,
you, it's an insult.
yeah, but it's
It's
where
an
it's at. Yeah,
insult.
I'm fine. No, that is where, but that's where it's at in the world right now, and the way
Don't
it
mean it's
looks.
not an insult. Trump is our president and he still do some foul stuff. And just because he our president don't mean it ain't messed up because that's the decision he decided to make. Either way, it doesn't matter if that's the way. The way is still it's still an insult and it still
A lot
takes
of celebrities don't have
away.
a problem with it though. I know Jermaine Dupri spoke out about the AI because my thing is when we
He's
do
Jermaine Dupri.
yeah, when you do BET or you do all these award shows, are you going to have a big screen with the AI singing? Like, what is that going to look like? What is that going to feel like? But it's what we're growing into, and
I'm
then as a
sure they'll find a way.
they,
I'm sure they find just like they tried to do the holograph of Michael Jackson and people thought it was weird. That's probably what they're gonna do with
with AI,
AI. And the thing about these big time producers, because even Timberland did it, and I was disgusted when he did it. I was like, you of all people should know, like you started off at the bottom. And of course they can do it. You've already established yourself in the industry to be able to position like you can do that. You can go with the wave because you're just trying to stay relevant because you've already been relevant. But for artists like me or a lot of these independent talented artists, that now takes the money out of the mouths of these people that have been grinding, been working, been doing it for decades, and now you're telling them it's just even if you take it away from music and you talk about um you know how some people lost jobs with some of these factories and some of the old school jobs that of course there's going to be new ways, there's going to be new technology, new development, new everything, but sometimes these new things take away from authenticity. And to
absolutely.
me it's not I can't I can tell when something's AI. When I listen to a record, I can tell if it's AI and I immediately switch it off. It doesn't, I can't feel it's a machine. I can't feel the emotions of the songs from a robot. I can't feel like it's no, the feeling is not there. You can hear the pain in an artist's voice when
When
they're
they
singing about their actual story, their actual struggle, what they've actually been through, versus something that doesn't have any feelings. It's a robot. It's AI.
oh,
It's artificial.
I cut you off and you were saying do you want to be a star? Is that where you're headed? Or is it I like singing, I love it, and I just want to keep doing it? But then at the same time, do you ever want it to be something where it's paying the bills, you don't have to work, you can still take care of your child, you can still, is that your goal? What is the end goal? What's the goal?
That is my immediate goal. And actually, let me tell you something. That's not my goal. My goal is whatever God has in store for me. The problem is he don't just write it out on a piece of paper, give it to you, and say, here are your instructions.
Oh,
I'd be like, hey bro, what's the plan here? What are we doing? What do you need? You give me the blueprint, I'll follow it. So my goal is whatever his goal is. Unfortunately, like I said, in the process of it, I don't have direct contact, so I don't know exactly what that is. But all
wait,
I can do is do the work with what the talent is that he gave me.
okay, that's fair. So as when did you, when as a child, when did you say I like this, I like this sound? What age were you when you said I want to sing, that's what I want to do?
I I don't really ever remember not wanting to.
Okay.
And that's simply because I grew up in a household that was filled with music. My mom is, she literally, they awarded her this award. She's the first lady of Yeek. It's an ATL dance style that anybody from ATL is familiar with. If you don't know what Yeek is, you're not from ATL. Don't talk to me. You're conflicted with where
This is
that is not Atlanta if you don't know Yeek. But my mom was the first lady of Yeek. She moved. She was in a dance group called Guess, and then as time progressed, she was in a singing group. Then she went solo. So in the midst of that, I was conceived. I was born. I'm here. I believe I was on stage before I was even out of the womb. Um, but I always saw my mother doing it, and so it was always something that I was interested in. And I was always loud. She's always had something to say. She said, when in accordance to my mom's
mm-hmm.
like flashbacks of life, she said she thinks, if I'm not mistaken, she said she knew I was gonna sing. There's this video they have of me sitting over the countertop of the kitchen, and I'm just like, A B C. I'm just like belting the ABCs, not really having any structure or knowing what I'm doing, but she's like, oh, that's a big voice, you know?
Right.
Um, did my first talent show in, I want to say, fourth grade at Narvi J. Harris. That was my elementary school. And I knew I wanted to do it for sure when I did that. Because I just fell in love with being on stage. But
Mhm.
with that being my first show, even though it was my first show, I was disqualified.
Why? Fourth
They
grade?
said I they said I was too advanced.
Really?
Yes.
That's not
Yep.
good.
They told me I was too advanced. I asked them could I bring two dancers because my mom was a dancer, so I had my mom and another young lady come and do my background. And of course, it was kept simple because we're at a elementary school. We asked permission. Hey, is it okay if we have these elements be? And I put on a production. We had a little chair routine and the matching outfits,
Big
and
show.
they were not ready for that. They did not think that that was what I was bringing, and
I would have supposed they would not have been. This is not
they
a
were
con
not prepared
fourth grade
for me to
challenge.
be singing. Then I was singing Pink.
Oh no,
You
yeah.
know, most girls, they were not ready. And then the following year, I won, but I had to dumb down my performance. Like I'm not even gonna. There's no other way of saying it besides I had to dumb myself down to even be the winner. I had to dumb myself down to fit in that category. And then I knew after that first show, my dad told me, rest his soul, excuse me, But my dad told me after that first show that I was disqualified because I was too much, because I am too big for a stage like that and I am a star.
And I believe that. I do. Like I said, I've heard you. I've heard you sing, and even the first time I heard you sing, I was like, oh my God, she's really good. You know, she can sing for real with just the track playing. You know what I'm saying? Just listening and hearing. And I don't say that about a lot of people. People are studio artists. You know, they have all
Mhm.
these effects and sounds. So when I hear people that can really sing and it's coming from the soul and they bellowing it out, that's what I call a singer. But you don't need that anymore nowadays. Nowadays you just have to be able to sell to the audience and sell a crowd
Yep.
and get a crowd to buy into you. That's all you got to have to be a star nowadays, and you don't have to have much quality. You don't have to have, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to have no qualifications for it no more. Back in the
Right.
day, you had to really get it to sing. You had to sing to get it.
Yep.
It ain't like that no more. When you started seeing every stripper on the strip, and look, no, nothing against the strippers, but when you started seeing strippers become rappers and they straight out the club and they bringing it to the streets, and it kind of took away from the rappers. It kind of took away from the singers. You see, it's so many things pulling. And
Some of them are very talented.
yeah, but then you got the ones
They
that
had the bread,
but they got that money though. They got that paper behind them.
the access.
The access to people that you
Hmm.
have access to. And you're right. It's a game out here. This and people, I say this all the time, even when I'm live and I'm talking to people, I'm like, this is not a joke. This is not nothing about social media, life, being in front of a camera, talking, singing, contenting. Nothing about this is easy. It's all work.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, you just love doing this. No, I love that I want to blow. I love that I think I'm following the assignment. I love that God said this is what you need to be doing. But I'm like you, I'd be like, hey God, what we doing? Like what's up?
Mhm.
Why we keep bypassing? I get there, get frustrated in the midst of the storm sometime a damn self. And I'm like, okay, what we doing? Like what did she do that I didn't do that I felt like I did good doing? You see what I'm saying? So I can get that part of frustration. How how would you describe your life as a mother trying to be out here? Because I know sometimes shows is late nights. Do you bring your son? Do you leave him by himself? Do you leave him with your mom? Like, what is that like trying to balance? And then I don't know if you work. So how do you balance all of this stuff and still be Diamond and go out there and give this great performance?
So I actually quit my job back in October,
Okay.
um, so that I could full time pursue my music.
Okay.
Um, Sometimes I don't want to say I regret the decision, but sometimes it's frustrating, right? Because I don't have it's not consistent income, right? But
Hmm.
at the same time, I had to think, and when I made the decision, I'm like, well, half the time I'm struggling working somebody else's job. Why not struggle doing my passion and doing what I love to do? If that makes sense. Like
Right.
I'm struggling to make ends meet here. I'm struggling to make ends meet to pay my bills and also be able to do what I love to do because my time is limited when I have a job,
Hmm.
and that takes away from my son. So not only performing takes away from my time with him, but then I'm also having to work, and then I might have a show after work, so I don't get to pick my son up when I get done, and it just became a lot.
Right.
Um, when he was younger, my son's 13 now, and I am blessed to have an awesome kid. And for those that don't know what that is, it's a child that falls on the spectrum for autism. Um, and the community we call them awesome kids. Um, it was very difficult when he was younger, and I first found out about the disability because we were still trying to learn and navigate how to manage that, right?
Hmm.
Um, and to answer your question, when he was smaller, I could take him anywhere, to be honest. One thing I can say about my son, disability or not, is everyone has always loved Reggie.
Right.
I mean, I there was a time where I had an incident and we lost our position in where we were living. And I had rehearsal that night. And my baby came with me and slept on the couch in the back while I was out doing my stage play rehearsal. And they didn't even know what was going on. They just knew, well, Reggie's welcome anywhere he wants to be, you know? And
Right.
I thank God that. the community that I have, they're so open to my son being around. Of course, in certain places, I will not take my child. Um,
Right.
there's not a space for him anywhere where there's smoking, anywhere where there, especially like nightclubs, things like that. He cannot be there. Like it's just, he can't be there.
Right.
But one thing I can say is I am a single mom, but he does have a father, meaning he has a present father. Um, Not very much so financially present, but sometimes that's okay when you get the help everywhere else you need.
That you need.
And I thank God that he has a dad that's okay with going to him. Like in his head, he don't need to go to my mama house because he can go to his house. In his head, he don't need to go. He don't need a babysitter. He can come. I'm his daddy. He can come here.
Come
You
over there.
know. It does get frustrating sometimes because I think people love seeing the results of
Mhm.
my work, but they don't understand the journey of what it takes to get to the final product.
That's the part that I'm asking you about right now. I see all the
They
good
don't.
stuff. I
So the
see there,
rehearsals, the late,
the whole
so
concept.
every once in a while, there'll be a little bit of even da 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 da, and I'm like, hey man, when you met me, because pretty much all my life, this has been what I do.
Yeah, really, really.
That's, I mean, you just have to know and be aware that that is what I do, and I'm not gonna not do it. And I don't feel like anyone should have to stop their dreams so long as it's not detrimentally affecting your child in any way. I don't feel like as a mom we should have to give up those parts of ourselves because sometimes when we do, it's almost like you end up inadvertently passing that along to your child. I don't want my child to ever think, oh, I let me just go ahead and give up because it got too hard and I don't have what I need to get it done. It's difficult, or I got a baby, so I should stop doing my dreams and I should just go work somebody's 9 to 5 and struggle with them. No,
Yeah,
no.
I don't blame you on that part. But then what do you do? So is the revenue, because you're okay, so you're not working, you're a single mom, and then how do you're not afraid, like, what if I don't make this amount of money in a month to pay my bills? What if I don't, do you ever do the what ifs, or you just say I got to go for what I know?
The what ifs used to happen when I was working somebody's job.
So it was still the
So it's
same.
so for me it's the same. I mean, I used to work in IT.
Hmm.
Um, and the problem with that was around that time, that's when I found out my son was autistic. And I was
Hmm.
having to call out of work a lot. I was having to, it's a demanding job. And I wasn't able to do that and be a mom. And I ended up losing my job. And I wasn't going to not go get my kid because my job needed me to, so like, I have to get my kid. But it's the same struggle, in my opinion, based on what I'm doing.
Right.
And like I said, I'd rather struggle working for myself and trying to make things happen for myself than to struggle working for somebody else that could care less if I come back to the job tomorrow or not because I'm going to be replaced, you
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. I
So,
mean,
with
absolutely.
that being said, anyone that's watching, I go by the name of Diamond Cheri. I'm a host, performing artist. I love to do stage productions. I'm an actress. I'm a model. I'm a makeup artist. I have a candle business as well called Energy by Cherie. If you want to shop me, support me. This is one of those things where we have to educate ourselves on what it means to be an independent artist and understand that as an independent artist, we're responsible for everything that we do financially.
Literally
And the
everything.
only way we make our money is if you book us. That is how we make our money. Them, even the big artists, they make their money touring. That's
Right.
why you see so many artists on tours. That's why you see so many of them at these festivals, at these big events, because they need bookings in order to keep their income rolling. Features, when they get paid for features, when they're paid to do these things, that's how they make their money.
No, I
So
do. You now, do you go on tour?
I have not done a tour yet. I do not feel as if my audience is wide enough to do a tour. How I would do a tour. How
Right.
I would do a tour. Now, I've done concerts in Atlanta, put on my own shows and everything. They sell out every time,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. But this is my hometown. They're used to me here. Everybody knows me here. So that's cake. I have been to New York and done a few shows out in New York. I have done a few shows out in LA. So the team is working to position a tour coming up. I've been networking, meeting some great friends, and I'm doing the legwork to get there for sure.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think sets Diamond Cherie different from any other artist out there? Like, what do you think is that thing that you feel like any other artist that you have? What do you think makes this that sets you different?
The simple answer is I'm me.
Right.
And I don't think people understand that unless they actually meet me, right?
Hmm.
Um, Once you meet me, and I don't even want to say get to know me, I'm very big on kindness. I'm very big on treating people with kindness because you never know what somebody went through before they step foot in front of you.
Right.
You know? And not to say that there are not kind artists out there, but that's one thing that's like rooted. It's rooted in me. It's rooted in me. Even when I'm on stage, I want to make somebody in that audience feel comfortable, feel like it's a safe space. I want somebody to relate. I put everything. If you ever want to know my business, go listen to an album. Go listen to a song. You're going to get all the business.
About it. You talk about it, and I know you have a nonprofit. Let's talk about that. The
Ooh, I do.
Your nonprofit. Let's talk about the nonprofit. Let's talk about. I know you got a Christmas drive coming up for the kids, and you need to talk about that here. So
Hmm.
your flyer, people will know what it's for. We're getting these toddlers, these toys, these toys for these kids. So let's talk about that.
So, like I said, I am rooted in kindness, and that's been a big thing for me
Mhm.
over the last few years. I originally had a women's organization that mirrored a non collegiate sorority organization. It was called Cash Royal Society. And it was a lot, being a single mom and also still trying to give back from sometimes an empty cup became a lot. So I decided to transition that brand into acts of kindness. Um, AOK for short. Um, and because kindness is free, right? And AOK is a anonymous gift giving organization.
Mhm.
So we started with under the new umbrella. We started this year with Mother's Day. We attempted to do Father's Day. I need y'all in my community to do better for the dads, y'all. Please do better for the dads. It's so hard to get donations for the dads.
Right.
Um, but we did shift and now we're doing Christmas. And Cash always did Mother's Day, Father's Day, but we never shifted into the holiday season. So this year I wanted to shift us into the holidays. And essentially what it is a random gift bag filled with whatever people donate, words of affirmation, journals, hygienic products, anything like that. We do also put together homeless packs. Like I like to call them the homies. We don't like to call them the homeless. They the homies. So
Okay.
when we need to take care of the homies, we put together those care packages for them as well and give those out to the community anonymously. Um, Sometimes and the reason I started this way and the reason I wanted to incorporate this is I struggle a lot,
Hmm.
right? And because I look good, I can't be struggling, right?
And that
But
that's people think that though for real. If you
they think that all the time. And I'm like, I don't have to look like I'm struggling to be struggling. The clothes that I have in my closet are already the clothes that are in my closet. The shoes that are on my feet, they were already there. So that I don't have to come out and look like I'm in distress to be in distress. And that was one thing I used to have a slight disagreement with some of my peers about when they were doing their nonprofits. You want to give to those that look like they're struggling. But I gave one of my favorite stories from giving back with this organization is this. I was in Savannah, I want to say. I think we went to Savannah for my son's birthday, and it was around Mother's Day, so we took the gifts down there too. Mother of three is walking into Walmart with her three kids, came out of a nice little BMW SUV, right? But
Yeah.
again, this is gift giving to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, whatever. I
Right.
gift her a bag and I just hand it to her and start walking away. She's like, ma'am, what is this? What is this? I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. Lady breaks down and starts crying in the middle of Walmart uncontrollably. She had recently lost her husband. She was a stay at home mom. She was in jeopardy of losing her house, that car she was in, and she was just trying to hold her emotions together for those three kids that she's left with. And her husband passed. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can, everyone's situation is different. You don't know what they went through. And because she received that small act of kindness, that was something that made her day because she didn't have anyone to buy her a Mother's Day gift anymore. Her husband was gone. She had no family.
That's sweet. That's sad. But there's a lot of people, out there but I hear that saying all the time, like, well, you don't look like you're broke, or you don't look like you have, or you look like you put on. And I feel like that. My dad always told me that. He always said, if you're down on your knees, don't stay down there too long and don't never look like what you're going through. So
Hmm.
my motto is, I'm going to come out to the world, baby. I'm always going to look like I'm on point. I don't care what it looked like. I was down there feeding the homies the other day, and I was down there on my hands and knees in my Air Force Ones, baby, laying down with them. Like, I'm gonna come out like me. You have to love me the way I am. I'm not changing nothing. You know what I tell you? Because and I feel you have to look like struggle. You know what I'm saying? If I'm struggling, I'm struggling. That's not for the whole world to know all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It is what it is, if that's what it is. But everybody goes through something. Juan asked you a question. He said, young lady, how come you haven't tried to get a demo sent to Babyface or Terry Lewis Jam, or try to contact with them to produce you?
I very much so have. And again, if I don't know how long you've been tapped into the live, all of that sounds great. The industry is pay to play. There, people do not care about your talent anymore. And I
Hmm.
hate to say that so blatantly and to just be so a matter of factly, baby, they don't care. I have producers in my DMs right now. I want to work with Zaytoven. He's in my DMs. I want to work with Scott Storch. He's been in my DMs. I love your work, love your work, love your work. Let's get a record done. Price. Let's get a record done. Cost. Let's get a record done. It costs money. And it's nothing to say that um it's nothing against them because they've earned the right to be able to charge a fee for their services. It also takes them time, money, and effort to give you whatever they produce, right? They have to go into the studio and make whatever record they make, right? If I want to record it and they got to put up the time, there's cost that goes into everything. But unfortunately, with this industry, it has become very much so pay to play. I have distribution with Rock Nation, and this was before Rock Nation became a free for all. Like now anybody can go on there, anybody can drop their records, anybody can use that platform.
Right.
I had to get hand selected. I had to God, I hope this ain't breaking no rules or nothing, but I had to pay a fee
To
to
get
sit to get the meeting, to even sit in the room and for them to review my music and do these music reviews for for them to even consider putting me on the platform. Before, the platform was very strategic and they was hand selected, hand picked. It was a privilege to be a part of that platform before it became a free for all. But that just is what it is. Everything's pay to play. And also, when sending your music to certain people in the industry, no matter who they are, what they do, whatever, as an independent artist, you always have to be very, very careful.
of who you're sending your stuff to.
You, I have friends that I know personally. They didn't email their stuff to nobody. They song just popped. It was good indie realm, and then all of a sudden, I heard a celebrity artist with a very similar record.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot, but people think, and like I said, Juan, you know, you asked the question, but it's just not that simple. It's not.
Yeah, and I wish it was.
You can't, but you know, then you ever wonder whatever happened to people just getting artists and saying, hey, I believe in you and I want to take you in this studio and I want to produce you and have you ever had that happen where somebody just said, hey, I want to work with you. I'll front the money. I'll front the cost of the studio today.
That is who Eric Smalls is to me. That is how I met Eric. That is who believes in me and has honestly become like my father. Like he's literally like I call him my bonus dad. Like
Mm-hmm.
my dad introduced him to me. My dad hated the industry and he was our manager, but he never brought men or like he was very aware of who he brought around us and why.
Right.
And, you know, when my dad passed on, Eric was the one that took over that role in making sure I was protected, my music is protected, and that, you know, at times those funds are there. And don't get me wrong, he's not the richest man in the world by far, but he fits me into his budget because he sees the work ethic that I put in when I have none,
Believes
when
in
I
you.
have nothing, when I have zero. Oh, she's doing X, Y, and Z with nothing. I got to get behind that. And he met me when I was in my singing group as one. Shout
Mhm.
out to my girls, Rebecca and Evelyn. Love y'all. And once that phase of the group, the last phase of the group fell out, he was like, but I'll work with her because she's the only one that want to put in work.
Right.
And he
Yeah.
noticed my work ethic as a single mom with a 1-year-old baby and a singing group of, and this was our last phase. These don't involve the two girls I just mentioned, but it was very hard to get them on board with what our brand was after building that brand for 10 years and letting someone just walk into it. And he's like, I'm trying to understand why she's a single mom riding MARTA, taking 3 buses, train to gets to rehearsal early with her baby,
Right. The time.
knows the song, knows the choreography, but y'all don't, and you're mad because you didn't know the words to the record, and now you want to be upset because now I'm getting the leads, and I was never even intended to be a lead singer.
You just wanted to
That's the
sing.
T. That's the T. Was never even when I was in my singing group, I was never supposed to be the lead singer.
But Diamond, there's this thing, I say this to respecting, I don't know the other two, but I'm going to say this respectfully. There is a difference when you come into something with a group. It's always going to be someone that's going to stand out more than the other. You take Beyonce and her trio, Destiny's Child. Beyonce was a star from the beginning. She always was different. She always stood out. Her work ethic was a little harder. I'm going to go a little harder on this. I'm going to go. You could be in a room full of people and make a presence when you come in. You see what I'm saying? Your voice is commanding. Even I didn't know you from a can of paint when I did your hosted your thing at the house, but I knew when I walked in the room from the time you opened your mouth that you was a star. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. And you should take that bow and take them flowers because no matter what, and you probably never will fit in a group kind of setting because you're going to either overshadow or overpower, and then people get in their feelings when they think you're doing too much, and you should never have to scale back your talent because you're good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is. Like when you said you had to scale down in 4th grade, you should never have to scale down anything. It is what it is. A lot of people don't like me, and I've learned to not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is what it is. I don't care if I'm running out here on the street, jumping in grass, on social media, talking shit, however I'm doing it. This is really who I am, and I'm not going to stop being me just because somebody don't like it. Because I think I'm great. You can't tell me I ain't fantastic, wonderful, and amazing. So
Right.
you can't tell me I'm the anthem to that song. So you have to keep on just, I can't wait. I think the world is missing you. I really do. And I think that you have a road ahead of you that is, and you're young still. You still got that young, you still got that little youth in you, baby. So you got a little run ahead. But I think the universe is ready for a you in the world. And I think you're going to be exactly where you need to be. You've put in the work. I've watched you forever put in the work. And I follow Yeah,
Same.
I
Okay.
love you.
She has a movie and an EP that just came out. Make sure you go support Shelly Live. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I'm out here. I'm out here cutting up. I'm out here just cutting up to be cutting up, y'all. And but even so, I really had wanted you on the movie Singing for Freedom, but I think we just crossed paths. I wanted you in there so bad. I was like, I got to get her on this thing. But it happened. Everything happened. But I got a lot of movies coming up, and I know you're
We gonna meet somewhere right there.
somewhere as this powerhouse. My commanding song in the middle of all this stuff. But I wish you all the best, and I thank you so much for coming on Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. My partner couldn't be here. She's on set, and she's on set for a good little while. She won't be back until January, realistically in January. So I'm trying to hold this down, to keep everything flowing and keep everything. I know she wanted to be here. She was in the chat in the comments, and I just for coming in, and I wish you, baby, all the success. I'm here to support you. I do plan on coming to your Christmas thing that you're having. Me and Leah, we are going to come to that, and then I'm gonna post a flyer. Yeah, so when I post this flyer for y'all to help with these kids, I'm gonna need for y'all to donate. You better understand the assignment. I'm gonna replay this part on the show when I do my clip. I'm gonna make sure I play this over again. Please repost and please get these kids these baby stuff for Christmas. It's coming up, and a lot of people are having hard times. We are in hard times. There's nothing wrong with giving back at all. Be a part of something. Stand for something. Do something. But yeah, that's the end of my Unfiltered at 5. And I thank you, and I wish you all the best. And if you ever need me, make sure you holler, because Eric is my boy. That's my ride to die. I love you from him. So yeah, so thank you again, and butter, y'all go out and get Cocoa Butter Brother, baby, because if you just want to watch the video on repeat, you can just watch that. You're gonna be a lot of sex scenes and a lot of babies being born watching that damn video, honey.
So go ahead and buy that up too.
I'm saying you need to get it out. It's out there. It's on. Tell them where to find you. Tell people where to find you and where to look you up at.
You guys can find me on all platforms at Diamond Cheri. The spelling is listed below. And always remember, again, find me on those platforms at Diamond Cheri. And don't forget, in a world where you can be absolutely anything, be kind.
Be kind. Absolutely. And I meant to ask you before I cut off there was a group that used to come up. I had a friend that was a part of a group called Be Kind, and they would just go out and give people stuff. Like you be sitting at a gas station and somebody just come up and be like, I'm gonna pay for that for you.
That's A-okay. That is literally what I'm trying to, that is literally what my platform is about. You might go to work and it could be sitting on your desk. You might come out to your car and it's sitting on the hood.
Because I've had that happen. I was at the getting my car washed, and my detail was probably like $100 that day. And I'm sitting there, and this gentleman kept looking at me, and I'm like, why does this man keep staring at me? And when I went up to pay, he was like, no, I got it. And I was like, me, I was like, no, it's okay. I'm good. He was like, no, I just want to do a kind gesture. And I was like, my car wash is $100. Like I had to tell him.
Yeah.
But he paid it, walked off, walked off and said, have a good day. And I was like, wait a minute, stuff like that don't really happen. So I was touched by it. So yeah, if that's what you're out here doing, baby, more success. And if you ever need me to come out here and help, honey, let me know, because I don't have a problem coming out. Me and Leah Nicole love to give back and love to come out here and help people. So
volunteers, I got you.
Fine, because we will definitely show up and show out and be our authentic, crazy selves. Trust me, we will. Thank you. It's time for me to end this show. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully we'll have you back again.
Thanks for having me.
Love on. I'm gonna take you out of here. Thank you, Diamond. I'm gonna take you out and talk off this show. You have a good one, love.
You too, love.
Y'all, that's it for the show on Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all go out and get this sister stuff. Diamond Cheri, she, like I tell you, she's a brand in herself. Her voice is so amazing. Like, you've never heard somebody sing until you hear this girl sing. She's that good. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. She's really, really good. And then y'all know my EP dropped last night at midnight, Betrayed by My Own. Y'all make sure y'all go to Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Amazon Music. I mean, it's on every platform. Go out there and get it. I'm on it as big. I had so many people downloading it today. It's one of my big ones. I'm working with this. I am one of the ones that do work with AI, but I'm also one of the ones that can really sing. So it really is my craft. But studying this stuff and learning this stuff is something new for me. I'm embracing a new chapter of my life, what I call it, and just coming into different elements of how I move and the way I move and the things I do and the opportunities and the doors that are opening and the things that happen behind the scene. So you make way for what's good for you, do right by people, love on people. Like I say this faithfully to everybody, love on somebody, hug on somebody, be about somebody, stop being about yourself. You can't be in a bubble and think you're going to get so far in life. You got to give a little to get a little. You got to believe in something, believe in something and give that to yourself wholeheartedly. So I want to leave y'all with that. Y'all know, y'all go out here and be great. Leah, she loves y'all. I know she's missing the sets. We talk all the time on and off during the day. And I know she's ready to jump back on here and be unfiltered. But, I got to believe in the girl's dreams and wish her all the best in what she's doing because she's out here getting it. We got a play coming up called Rudy. We're going to start selling them tickets soon. I'm going to need for y'all to buy them, baby, because this play is going to be all that and then a bowl of cherries. And it's starring your girl, So you want to get out here. Leah's in the play with me. I love being with my co-host. I love working with her. She's amazing. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal play. And we need y'all to buy these tickets when we put these tickets out there. If you live in this Atlanta, baby, you need to be at Rooted on the 27th of February. Okay. When I start dropping these things, I'm going to need for y'all to give it the business, you buy the ticket and come out and support. And then the movie Singing for Freedom, y'all, as you all know, it is coming to the TV. It's going to be on Tubi on January 30th, 2025. Y'all need to watch it. Y'all need to stream. Y'all need to share it. This stuff ain't this big. Like I always say, I ain't nothing without you, y'all. Let me tell you something. Y'all make me great every day, all day. So continue and keep on riding in my foolishness. Keep on jiving with Unfiltered at 5. Keep making us as great as you make us. And we love y'all. At the end of the day, we love y'all. That's the thing. We really do love y'all. And I love talking. That part. But Juan, to your question, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I was just listening to her. I was just trying to listen. I didn't want to be, moving too much and jumping all over the place. So that I was just kind of listening and engaged in her story. Y'all go out there and get the song with Akeem Ali, Cocoa Butter Brother. And I'm gonna drop it in my thing later on today. The link to watch the video because it really is nice. Y'all go out and follow Diamond Cheri, DIAMOND CHERI on all her platforms. She's amazing. She's always been amazing. And y'all check her out. I'm out of here, y'all. Mwah.
Girls, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, did you know this? What? Oh my God.
Oh my God, Cheri Lavelia Nicole, Cheri Lavelia Nicole on a roll, lighting up the stream, the vibe is bold. Cheri Lavelia Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and voice, doing it big, turning up the flow. Cheri Lavelia Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, Cheri Lavelia Nicole. Oh yeah, Cheri Lavelia Nicole everywhere. Cheri Lavelia Nicole. Oh yeah, grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.